How's it going, Gumi Gang? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to my first official video covering the full game for Black Ops 6. That's right, Black Ops 6 is here, in Treyarch we trust, and yes, I've been having a ton of fun with it, a lot more fun than I had with Modern Warfare 3 at launch. That game was kind of frustrating, but this one I'm enjoying a lot more, and it's just been a good time, and I'm very much so enjoying it, along with zombies. I'm not much of a zombies guy, because ever since they started getting all crazy, I just kind of veered away from it, but since it's round-based now, I've even been enjoying zombies, so there's something for everyone with this game, and that I'm very happy to say. But today's video, aside from that, we're going to talk about my impressions of the two shotguns we have in the game, which are the Marine SP, and then of course the one we haven't got to try since the beta, which is the ASG-89, which is a semi-auto spam shotgun. So I'm going to share with you guys my impressions if we're in for a good year for shotguns. I won't go into any super crazy detailed stats because that's going to be from my videos covering each of the shotguns and a different video for slugs and all that. So for this one, just my impressions overall and how it feels. So let's just go ahead and hop right into it. And of course, timestamps will be in the description below if you want to hop to a certain part of the video. First, we'll start with the pump action. As always, my favorite type of gun to use, a solid one-shot shotgun pump action. And since the beta, it has received a small buff. According to the devs, I can't actually confirm at 100% other than based on feel, and I can tell you that it definitely feels better in this. And I gotta say, this is a great one-shot shotgun. This is not a bad shotgun by any means. It definitely feels a lot better than it did in the beta, not by a crazy margin, but it's noticeably going to be better when it comes to its one-shot kill range. And so for this one, I actually enjoy it quite a bit. Now, I will show you guys the one-shot kill ranges for this gun because I think it's kind of cool to show you. And actually, the base one-shot kill range for this gun is out to about the 9.4 meter mark. Now, as a fun fact, this is better than a lot of other shotguns in Modern Warfare 3. This is actually on par with like the Lockwood 680 with a barrel. Now, if you put a barrel like the big long barrel on this gun, it takes your one-shot kill range out to about the 10.5 meter mark. So it basically feels like the Lockwood 680, except you have 8 pellets instead of 6. I've been enjoying it very much so, and even with slugs. Slugs are super fun in this gun and super consistent. I highly recommend you guys trying slugs. If you're not the type to use them often, just give them a shot here. You got to be close, but they are very consistent across the board. No matter where you hit, it's going to be a one-shot kill as long as you're in its first range. But the Marine SP, solid shotgun. The only complaint I really have about it is the sprint to fire speed. And I talked about this in the beta, but the sprint to fire speed is a little slow. Now, a lot of SMGs are a lot quicker. They have a lot of attachments to help with that, but this gun doesn't really have many. I think in 2 categories, there are 2 attachments, or at least one of them in each of the categories, that helps with your sprint to fire speed. And unfortunately, you can't really get below like a 150 millisecond sprint to fire. So it kind of has the same issue the Lockwood 680 did, unfortunately. Not my favorite way to balance shotguns. I'd rather they take away a little bit of the one-shot kill range and give you a better sprint to fire speed overall. It's just really annoying to be sprinting and get caught with your pants down and be punished for being aggressive when you have an SMG that basically has like a 70 millisecond sprint to fire speed time. That's kind of annoying. Plus, I think it encourages people to kind of sit around with this. They don't want to be caught sprinting, so just like with loud footsteps, they're going to sit in a corner and just wait because they don't want to get caught with their pants down sprinting. So I would really kind of change that, in my opinion, buff up the sprint to fire speed, or at least make it to where one of the barrels, the combat barrel specifically that helps with your sprint to fire speed, make it buff it significantly so you are much quicker, so you have an actual good reason to use it other than just like a kind of mediocre help to it. But really, that's my main complaint with the shotgun. Otherwise, I think it's solid. This is definitely not a bad shotgun by any means. If you're worried about this being trash, it's not. The aim down sights time is a little slow, but again, there's builds for that, and also it's mainly the sprint to fire speed that's a big issue for me personally. Next up, we'll talk about the USAS of the game, which is basically the ASG-89, which is one we haven't had access to in the beta. We didn't have access to it. So with this one, it's a semi-auto spam cannon with a kind of moderate fire rate. It's at about 188 rounds per minute, which is slower than a lot of ones we're used to, and it was immediately noticeable to me when I used it. Like, this shoots a little bit slower, so that will get you killed in a lot of instances. Also, this gun does have a slow sprint to fire speed initially. You're going to have to unlock attachments for that, which do help. In fact, with attachments, it gets a better sprint to fire speed than the Marine SP, so that is nice to see. But yes, this is a painful one to grind. This one isn't my favorite of the two. Obviously, the Marine SP is, but is it a bad shotgun? Is the ASG-89 bad? Absolutely not. It still has a lot of potential, and it has a few things going for it. For one, it has a one-shot potential. Out to about the 2.5 meter mark, you can actually one-shot kill players with this gun, which is really nice. So you can kind of pace your shots in a fun way where you can actually one-shot players when they're really in your face, which is really nice. Also, this gun has a pretty surprising 2-shot range, which is really nice. Out to about the 9 meter mark, if you were full aim down sights and hitting your pellets well, you will basically get a 2-shot kill out to that 9 meter mark. Now, it's not the most consistent, and of course, there's a lot of recoil. The iron iron sights are kind of funky, so it's a little weird, but it's entirely possible. You just got to hit your shots well, and it's just got a decent range to it that you wouldn't expect from a gun like this. But of course, it shoots kind of slow. It's a little awkward to use, slower sprint to fire speed. So it's a slow grind with this one. This one's really difficult to grind, and it's definitely not fun. I recommend going into either hardcore or going into zombies. Zombies was infinitely funner for me using this. It's a blast in zombies, and that's a good way to rank it up without feeling like you're kind of torturing yourself and just like going negative every game. So in my opinion, go to hardcore or go to zombies and level it up and have a blast that way. There are definitely some attachments that are going to help it out too when you finally get it to its max level, or at least when you start ranking it up more and more. One of them is the tactical laser. This one is infinitely better on this gun than it is on the Marine SP. It's great on the Marine SP, but this one, to be able to tac stance with this particular one, really helps it because of the recoil this thing has, and its sights. Not super good to aim down sights with. The tac laser is great for this. One of the grips you unlock that helps with your sprint to fire speed, I think it's the assault grip that helps it the most. That's another great one to use while you're leveling it up. Also, fast mags I found super good because extended mags, not really necessary. It shoots 12 by default, 10 with the fast mags, but you do get a better sprint to fire speed, so I tend to go with the smaller mags, so I have better mobility and handling. That's how I tend to play, at least. So I would recommend those attachments, and of course, one of the chokes, but also don't neglect the suppressors. Staying off the radar is incredibly important in this game, and for a shotgun like this, it really helps when you want to get close and you're kind of flanking people. Having a suppressor is super useful. Overall, what do I think about these two shotguns? Do I think we're in for a good year for shotguns? Honestly, yeah, I was surprised. I was afraid they were really going to neuter shotguns. Treyarch doesn't seem to have the best track record. Ever since they made shotgun secondaries, they've been kind of a little all over the place with the balancing in terms of shotguns. But for now, I think they are pretty damn good, honestly. Like the Marine SP, super good. Just kind of awkward to use because of its sprint to fire speed. The ASG is a slow, painful grind, but once you get to its like final levels, it finally starts to feel like there's a light at the end of the tunnel and you can actually use it. I probably wouldn't use it above any SMGs simply because they're so strong and the time to kills are so fast on them. It's ridiculous, but it's still a fun gun to use, and I think it's definitely worth using to try it out. Just again, be warned, it's a painful grind, so go to zombies or hardcore. Don't torture yourself in core modes with it, at least when you're starting out. But yeah, I do think these are good shotguns. It's sad we only got two. I'm excited to see what they bring back. Usually in season 1, I think in the earlier seasons, Treyarch tends to bring in a new shotgun. It's probably going to be full auto, which is kind of meh. I don't really care. I'd rather have like a cool lever action or something, but we're probably going to get a new shotgun soon, so be ready for that. But that's pretty much going to do it for this video, guys. I just wanted to share my impressions of the game, and mostly just the shotguns at this point, since there's just two of them, and I kind of want to let you guys know my initial reactions to them. I'm still getting all the stats and all the details about them, but I will have guides on those soon, and of course, maybe some other fun videos, so you have to keep an eye out for those. But now I want to know down below in the comments, what do you guys think about these two shotguns in Black Ops 6? Do you enjoy the Marine SP? Do you think it's a really good shotgun? Do you like the ASG-9? And do you think it's better than I'm letting it up to be? With all that being said, guys, I will see you in the next video.
Control of Bravo. No more sniper.